Hey everyone. These photos have stories. Some will stick with you. After France was liberated in 1944, women were publicly shaved as punishment for sleeping with German occupiers. Historians would later find that most of them were actually innocent. The crowds were just looking for someone to take their rage out on. Thousands of women went through that humiliation. Oregon, 1901 to 1904. A wooden railroad bridge over a river deep in the forest. Logging companies built entire private rail lines just to move their timber. London, late 1800s. Homeless people sleeping in coffin-shaped wooden boxes for 4 pennies a night. These were among the first organized shelters for the homeless. Belgian coal miners riding the lift up after a shift in the early 1900s, faces black with dust. Back then, their average life expectancy barely reached 50. New York, 1904. An electric sightseeing bus loaded with passengers all dressed up. Electric transit was just making its way into city life. Within a few years, it would push horses off the streets for good. May 2nd, 1878, Minneapolis. Flour dust ignited inside what was then the largest mill in the world, killing 18 people. That explosion changed industrial safety standards. March 25, 1911, New York, a factory fire. 146 workers died, most of them young immigrant women. The owners had locked the doors so the workers couldn't take breaks. Horse-drawn fire wagons raced to the factory, but the ladders couldn't reach the upper floors where the women were trapped. This photo was taken on the sidewalk next to the factory building after the tragedy. 1902, lightning strikes the Eiffel Tower. The tower, built just 13 years earlier, was serving as a lightning rod for Paris. New York, around 1900. The streets are alive. Italians, street vendors, kids everywhere. This is where the New York we know today was being built. This is the first controlled, powered flight in history, 1903. It lasted 12 seconds and covered 120 feet. 66 years after this photo was taken, a man walked on the moon. San Francisco, April 1906. The city is on fire after the earthquake. The blaze wiped out 3/4 of it. 3 Parisian women watch a solar eclipse on April 8, 1921, near the Saint-Lazare train station. Petrograd, 1917. A crowd scatters in panic on the boulevard. Seconds earlier, troops of the provisional government had opened fire on demonstrators. 1914. The leader of the British suffragettes is arrested at the gates of Buckingham Palace, where she'd come to deliver a petition to the king. 4 years later, women in Britain would win the right to vote. New Jersey, 1937. The Hindenburg airship catches fire during landing and burns to the ground in 34 seconds, killing 36 people. California, 1930s. A migrant worker's home on the edge of a field. Cardboard walls, dirt floor. Egypt, 1941. Surviving soldiers perform a haka after fighting in Greece. Warsaw Ghetto, 1943. A Jewish boy with his hands raised at gunpoint by German soldiers. This photo became one of the key documentary records of the Holocaust. 1946, Bikini Atoll. The United States conducted nuclear tests. The blast triggered a tsunami and left the surrounding ships heavily contaminated with radiation. Canada, 1940. A regiment marches off to the front and a little boy breaks away from the crowd to run after his father. Korea, 1950. Thousands of refugees crawl across a destroyed bridge over the Taedong River, fleeing the advancing forces. The photo won the Pulitzer Prize and became one of the defining images of the Korean War. Finnish soldiers standing in protective anti-radiation gear, 1961. taken at a time when the fear of mass destruction weighed on just about everyone. 6 Marines raised the American flag, February 1945. Photographer Joe Rosenthal captured one of the most reproduced photographs in history. March 1945. A sailor ferries American soldiers under a waving flag. These were the final months of World War II. On December 21, 1970, Elvis Presley personally requested a meeting with President Nixon. He wanted a federal drug enforcement badge, and he got one. 1910. A 10-year-old girl who had spent 3 summers in a row picking berries, hauling 2 pecks at a time. The photographer who took this shot was documenting child labor across America, work that helped push through laws to ban it. A pile of wedding rings taken from Holocaust camp prisoners. The Nazis collected gold from their victims before the executions. Paris City Hall in ruins after the fire of 1871. The communards burned it down as they retreated, so the Versailles troops couldn't have it. A samurai with a sword, photographed around 1860, right at the moment when the warrior class was in its final years. These photos are a record of a vanishing world. 1909. The Manhattan Bridge is still under construction. A year later, it would open and reshape New York City, connecting Manhattan to Brooklyn. 1925. Radio Experiment Station. One of the very few Chinese students at an elite American university during an era when laws severely restricted immigration from Asia. Tokyo, 1935. A bicycle delivery man carrying an entire tower of noodle bowls on his shoulders. These delivery guys were a legend on Japanese streets, balancing full meals at speed. November 28, 1937. The Metropolitan Opera in New York. Every seat is packed for a performance by pianist Joseph Hoffman. The photo was taken from the stage. 1937. A California highway. A family from Missouri, 5 people, a sick infant, a broken-down car, no money. Luna Park at Coney Island at night, 1905. Thousands of electric lights lighting up the park at a time when most homes were still lit by candles. 1907. A photo of third-class passengers on a steamship, the ones standing in the hold while the wealthy traveled up on deck. Thanks for sticking around till the end. It means a lot. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button and subscribe. More videos like this are coming, and trust me, you don't want to miss them.